Good morning, fellow green folk, and welcome to the first of a new series of episodes being hosted here on the Isle of Faces. Thank you yet again for joining me here for some more and slightly different A Song of Ice and Fire fun. I am Sir Buckley, your lead green guy today, and I'm speaking to you from a cloudy England, but it's an England that is beginning to smell like spring. I can tell you from the puppy walk this morning. So for anyone who knows me, they'll know I am a solar/nature-powered person, so just you watch out. Hopefully I can bring some of that energy for today's new episode. Before we get into the fun, let's address the serious. We are cursed with living in interesting times, as Sir Terry Pratchett once said, and from here in the Isle we all wish you and yours the very best health and safety to everyone out there. I want to get on to the fun and the distraction as soon as possible, but I would be irresponsible if I didn't remind you all to stay smart, stay safe, keep considering others, and hopefully we can all get through this together. And here on the Isle with this episode and other episodes as well, we can maybe provide just a bit of distraction, a bit of fun for you, and just lighten the mood a bit. It is our honour and privilege to do so. It's wonderful, the tweets we got last week saying such, so we'd like to continue providing that for you. Now, full disclosure, these new fun episodes were planned way before coronavirus came to dominate our lives as it has, but I've bumped up the release a bit, not only because we're on a halfway break with VANESSA/Scraps and Scrolls, but because I think, like I say, we could all do with a bit of fun and distraction and something else to focus on. I know a lot of you are in lockdown or quarantine or are self-isolating or whatever you want to call it, so this is our gift to you from the Isle. And because this week in particular is such a shock and so different to our normal lives, and because this is the first in a new series, this episode is going to be released at the same time for patrons and the general public. So again, just a little gift from us. And side note, if you are struggling being quarantined or self-isolated or whatever, do reach out. Don't collapse in yourself if the walls are feeling a bit tight or just want to chat. Hey, send us an email. Send us a question. Tell us why you like that chapter. Tell us why you hate that character. We're always here to chat to both myself and the Isle of Faces as a podcast. So don't worry, the fandom is behind you. But like I say, we'll get through this as a team together and as a community. Now, speaking of our patrons, let me take a quick minute for some housekeeping before we really get going. Just 2 items today. Firstly, this week our first ever patron-only episode is releasing, so it's exciting times. I am joined by my lovely wife, Lady Buckley, as we go through our no longer recent trip to Belfast and Northern Ireland, where we went on the Game of Thrones tour and got to see different filming locations, got to see the city itself, and find out some inside info and stuff like that. And also, it's just proof that my wife hasn't left me or anything like that, because I know it has been nearly a year since she's found time to come on the Isle. So just to disprove those theories, I still have a wife, okay? I can prove it. So that episode has been releasing to different tiers all through the week, and by the time you're hearing this, it should be available to all patrons. It's just a small thank you to all of you for your continued support and generosity, and we look forward to bringing you more of these patron-only episodes in the future. So if anyone else is interested in becoming a patron and gaining access to that episode, you know the drill. Just head to patreon.com/Isle of Faces, and I'll remind you here that all patrons gain access to this episode from $1 a month and up. And while we are talking about patrons still, let me say hello and thank you to Lady Raj, Mistress of Horse, still a brilliant name, and to all our wonderful patrons out there. Only one more quick note. As you would have noticed, History of Westeros are on their 1-week break from Valerie Readers, like I mentioned earlier, which obviously means the Isle of Faces is also on a 1-week break from Scraps and Scrolls. So no new episode this week, but then again you are getting patron-only episode and this here new episode. But next week we'll be back at it with another 5 chapters that includes Arya leaving the Brotherhood, Jaime and Brienne taking on a bear, and Sam Tarly fighting and killing a white. And then the week after that, in part 11, well, it's probably best I don't go into part 11, given what's coming in that chunk, because this is supposed to be a fun episode, and those chapters, they're not fun. You probably know what I'm talking about, but that's for a later time. For now, we're getting on with this new episode and some fun stuff. Okay, I hear you cry. Come on, Joe, you've been going on for 5 minutes now. You haven't even told us what we're doing here. Alright, that's a fair cop, so let me explain. This is a first in a new series of bonus episodes on the Isle of Faces, and as you might have gleaned from the title, we're going to be doing some Sporcle quizzes. Even more excitingly, I'm going to be doing this with a very special guest who I'm going to introduce in a moment. Now, what do I mean when I say Sporcle? For those who don't know, Sporcle is a quiz, trivia-based website where they have quizzes on just about anything you can think of. TV, movies, geography, books, bones of the human body, European soccer teams that begin with the letter C, literally anything. So if you aren't aware, and especially if you're a bit bored during isolation or whatever, I really suggest you go and take a look, because it's a great place to quiz yourself and you can actually learn stuff along the way. For me personally, I spend probably way too much time making myself feel really smart by killing all the NBA quizzes. I nail them. I got all 100%. Definitely never got any wrong. And also, I've genuinely learned things like countries of the world and country capitals and stuff like that. So definitely go and check it out. But one of the categories that I visit most often is A Song of Ice and Fire, because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of different quizzes, both on the show and the books, and they really are a lot of fun, even if they do slow my productivity down just a little bit. So recently, I was cruising through said category when I came upon a specific set of quizzes. Could you match the starting sentence of a chapter to that chapter's POV for each A Song of Ice and Fire book? And to go with that, they also have the same for chapter ending sentences. So that is what we are going to be doing in this series. Each episode, a guest and I will be going through these quizzes and seeing how many sentences we can match up with the right POV. So today, for example, we'll be doing all 73 opening sentences for each chapter of A Game of Thrones. Next time out, it will be me and another guest doing the ending sentences for all 73 chapters of A Game of Thrones. And then we move on to A Clash of Kings and so on and so forth. So we might even be able to make up a little leaderboard at the end. So that's 10 episodes in total, and we should be having 10 guests come aboard if all goes well with timetables and schedules and such. And obviously everyone is having a rough time, but so far it looks like I'll have a guest each week, so I'm very lucky there. And they're big guests. We've got returners, we've got newbies, all people you're going to be very excited to hear from, so that's really good news. Very lucky over here. At the same time, I'm hoping these episodes can release once a week for the next 10 weeks. And again, maybe we'll have the odd break to accommodate getting a guest on, etc. And the way it'll work is the episodes will probably be released Monday, Tuesday for patrons, and then Thursday for general release. So for most of you, Thursday is the day that you're going to want to keep an eye on the odd God side there. And even if they don't turn out to be weekly, they will be regular. We're not going to have too many big gaps, hopefully. Now, as fellow Sporclers will know, and I'm sure many of you do know what I'm talking about, by default, the quizzes work with a stop clock. You normally get 20 minutes for this specific quiz. We have turned that off today, so we'll have a bit of time to chat and debate our answers. And if any of you have listened to the Radio Westeros trivia episodes, that is very much the vibe we are going for here. It's relaxed, we're going to be going head to head, but it's all in good fun. And if you haven't listened to those Radio Westeros episodes, I demand you pause this podcast now and go and do so. Okay, good, welcome back. So like the good old peeps at Radio Westeros, we encourage you to play along. I'll be including a link to this specific quiz in the episode description. I'll tweet it out as well, and you can either go and have a go yourself, you can grab a pen and paper and play along with our version here because it's random. You can do whatever you like. Send in your scores, tweet at me, have a bit of fun with it. We'd love to hear from you. It would definitely be a good way to keep our community in high spirits and keep us all together in these tough times. So as for logistics, me and my guest today will be using screen share on Skype, so hopefully that all behaves. And to look at our screen, we're going to be presented with all the names of the Game of Thrones POV chapters. So for example, there will be 15 Eddard buttons, because Ned has 15 chapters in Game of Thrones. There will be 6 Sansa buttons, there's 1 Will button, and so on. So once we click start, an opening sentence will appear at the top of the page. I will read it to my guest, where she will make her guess of whose POV that belongs to. And then vice versa, we switch around, and she does the same to me. So it's only 3, we'll end up with 37 and 36. My guest will get the extra, she can have 37 chapters, I'll have 36. At the end, I'll update you on what the average score is for Sporcle, how we've done against each other, and so on. Hopefully, I think you guys probably get that, but even if not, it'll become pretty clear as we go. Now, the lines, like I say, they'll come in random order, we can't see them before they come up, but the names we've got right will be kind of ticked off and greened out as we go, so we will get a little helper there towards the end. And one final note is that the name of that POV character is obviously blanked out if it appears in a sentence. So we can't have, like, I awoke at dawn. That would instead be read as blank woke at dawn. But all other names will be included. So, if Drogo is in a Daenerys chapter, in a Daenerys sentence, that won't be blanked out. You get what I mean, don't worry. The good news is I'm not going to have to do such a lengthy explanation for all our 10 episodes, so don't you worry, you only have to suffer through that this one time. I think probably now it's best if we just get on with it. So let's get going with my guest, shall we? Joining me today is our very first return guest. Sorry, Lady Buckley, you don't count, you already live here. She is an incredible artist, a talented writer, and one of the biggest Daenerys fans I know. Someone you should all be well familiar with. It is an extreme pleasure to welcome back VANESSA COLE. VANESSA, thanks for coming back. How have you been in the time since we've seen you?
I've been pretty good until, the last couple of weeks with all the craziness going on. But no, I've been well. Thanks for having me back on.
No, it's a pleasure. You're our first alumnus, our first returner, so
I
you
feel
get
so special.
premium billing. Yes, thank you for coming along. And our first in this new set of episodes as well. So you've taken the challenge. You're the first up.
Yes.
It's very brave of you.
Thank you. We'll see how brave I am once this gets started. It might be a lot more foolhardy than brave, but that's okay.
No, don't worry. Well, I might have shot myself in the foot. I might be saying, let's do this, and I turn out to be terrible at it. So we'll see. But tell us what you've been up to since the last time you visited us here. What have you been doing? What's your
Um,
project?
as far as projects, I mean, a lot of stuff's kind of been on hold just because my real job has taken precedence, unfortunately. But I do still write for Watchers on the Wall, although there hasn't been a
Hmm.
ton of news. But hopefully, with in House of the Dragon prequel going forward at HBO, we should be able to post some filming news on that soon. And then I'm also writing for Westworld Watchers, and now that season three is in full swing, I'll be posting regularly there. And of course, I'm always working on art, but it's just been a struggle to find the time, unfortunately.
Hmm.
But I'm
Of course.
hoping with being stuck at home, I'll have a little more time to do that. So hopefully I'll be posting some more projects soon. And you can
Yeah.
always follow me on Twitter at VKColeArtist. You'll be able to see any projects that I'm involved in posted there.
Yeah, so hopefully some good things can come out of being at home so much. We'll see some more art and stuff.
Yes, hopefully.
You're definitely always the person I think of whenever I see anything Westworld. I always
uh,
think Vanessa. You and Kim Renfro as
yes,
well. That name always pops
Kim
up.
is
So you must be
amazing.
very excited for season 3.
I am. I watched the premiere and I really loved it, so I'm excited to see how the rest of it plays out.
Super, super. I hope it all goes well for you. We'll catch up one day, probably
Yes.
5 years down the line. Yeah, I will.
Great.
I promise. Right, we'll get down to business then. So today, like I explained a moment ago, we're doing the opening sentences, the opening chapter sentences for every POV chapter Game of Thrones, all 73 of them. Is there a particular character where you think you might, I know that character, I know those chapters. I'm assuming it would be Daenerys for you,
Probably yes.
Mrs. Daenerys.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, hopefully those will come up for you then on the old
Probably
randomizer.
Eddard second, just because he has so many, and I
Yeah.
really love his chapters in Game of Thrones. So we'll see.
Good. Hopefully, well, we'll find out. We're going to get going here. So, like I explained a minute ago, I'll read to you, and you can give me your choice, and I'll click it through here, and then we're going to do the same back. So nice and
Oh,
simple. So we'll get going with number 1 here. So we start with character wed Khal Drogo with fear and barbaric splendor in a field beyond the walls of Pentos. For the Dothraki believed that all things of importance in a man's life must be da da da.
I wonder who this could be.
Lucky you, yeah, straight out the
Daenerys,
bat.
for
They know who they're
sure.
talking to. Let's click on Daenerys. Oh, it's a correct. There you go, straight
Yes,
away. Not
amazing.
difficult.
Oh, hopefully I'll be this lucky the whole time.
You might get all the Daenerys ones.
Okay, so your turn. Through the high
Yes.
narrow windows of the Red Keep's cavernous throne room, the light of sunset spilled across the floor, laying dark red stripes upon the walls where the heads of da da
Da, 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 da.
da.
Yeah, they run on a bit, yeah. Some of them are too long to put on a Sporcle quiz. Well, I'm going to assume this is Eddard, but I do worry about the Red Keeps because it can be Sansa, it can be Arya,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure this is one of our Neds. Oh, there you go, one for me as well.
Perfect.
Correct. I'm going to have to get a little correct jingle on the go. So, number 3. The summons came in the hour before the dawn when the world was still and grey.
Um,
Not nearly as many
yeah, I
clues
think
there.
this is also Eddard.
Okay, let's find out. Correct, nice one, well done.
All right.
3 for 3.
The land was red and dead and parched, and good wood was hard to come by.
I'm going to assume this is Daenerys for red and dead land, although I'm not sure wood comes up all that much, but I'm going to try it anyway. Yes, 4 for 4. We're
Wonderful,
doing well.
yeah.
If we go the whole way without getting any wrong,
I will be very
set a really good
impressed.
precedent.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to do really well. Okay, number 5. The morning had dawned clear and cold with a crispness that hinted at the end of summer. Getting
Yeah.
harder now.
I think this one is Bran.
Okay. I'm not very good at the brands, so you're going to have to hold us up for that one. Oh, it's right
Yes.
again. Clutch.
All right. The Dothraki Sea, Sir Jorah Mormont said as he reined to a halt beside her on top of the ridge.
Lucky me. I get to steal a Daenerys there. Is it Daenerys? Oh, yes, it is.
Hers are usually
Lovely.
pretty easy, especially if it has another
Yeah,
character
especially
in
in
them
this
because she's
book.
the only one in Essos.
She's probably, yeah, this is going to be really easy. Not so much later on when we get to dance and all that, but at the moment, yeah. Okay, I've already lost count of the numbers, but here we go. Next one. In the yard below, Rickon ran with the wolves.
I'm pretty sure this is also Bran.
Is it another Bran? It is, yeah.
Yes.
We're getting a lot. We've only had 3 different POVs so far.
All right. The straw on the floor stank of urine.
I'm going to assume we're sticking with our 3 POVs here. I think this is Eddard, although I guess it could be Tyrion. He gets imprisoned as well. Could even be Jon. I'm going to go Eddard, though. Okay,
Yes.
We're still perfect. Fantastic. Ooh, I don't want to be first. It's coming. I'm going to get one wrong, but I don't want to be first. Okay, next one here. Character climbed the steps slowly, trying not to think that this might be the last time ever.
I think we've got a new POV. I think this one is Jon.
Okay, let's try it. So I was thinking Sansa, but I think you might be right. It is Jon. Well done. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
All right. Pain is a gift from the gods, Lord Blank. Grandmaster Pycelle told him.
Lord Blank. Yeah, some people probably would call him Lord Blank. Cersei might call him Lord Blank. I'm going to call him Eddard.
Yes.
Correct, Monday. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay.
got some good hints in that one.
Yeah, definitely. I think this one will be the same. Here's next. There were times, not many but a few, when character was glad he was a bastard.
Who could that be? I'm going to say Jon.
Yes, that's a first Jon, our opener. First ever Jon.
All right.
Perfect still.
Yeah.
Well done,
Oh,
everyone.
yeah. Now it's getting really nerve-wracking because neither of us wants to be wrong first.
Pressure is mounting.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. My lady, you should have sent word of your coming, Sir Donald Waynwood told her as their horses climbed the pass.
Now we enter my realm. Now we get to the Catelyn chapters. I'm going to say it's Catelyn. Good, Catelyn, excellent.
Yes.
Still perfect. Okay.
Oh, now I get the hard one.
This one's a bit more.
Oh,
A light
man.
snow was falling. That's all you're getting.
Snow was falling. I'm thinking, so north. I think either Bran or Jon. I'm going to go with my first gut and say Bran.
Bran, okay. I've got no idea, so I'm glad I didn't get this one. Let's try Bran.
Yes.
It is
Woo-hoo!
correct. Wow.
Yay. All right.
The ball comes back to me. I don't like it. I don't want it.
Yeah, here's another tough one. The mare whickered softly as character tightened the cinch.
Oh, it's the horse riding character. It's the one horse riding character we get. So I think Jon straight away when he rides off at the end, but it really could be anyone. I'm gonna go Jon. Oh yeah, I'll risk it. I'll go with my gut like you did. Oh my god, yes, correct again. Oh, I really thought that was
First
wrong.
instincts are usually correct, is what I've been told.
Yeah, you're
so,
definitely right.
Anyway.
This might also be a tough one, even though it does have clues in it. He was walking through the crypts beneath Winterfell, as he had walked 1,000 times before.
I actually do know this one. It is Eddard.
It is nice and confident
Yes.
straight away. Excellent, well done.
All right, and this one should be fairly easy as well. As he stood in the pre-dawn chill watching Chicken butcher his horse, character chalked up one more debt owed the Starks.
Oh, we're getting to debt-paying territory.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a clue. I always love a Chicken mention as well. I'm going to say that's our first Tyrion chapter. Oh, no,
Yes.
correct. Excellent. Okay. This is going to be really weird if we get all 73. It's not going to be much of a podcast. Okay, next one here. Ned and the girls were 8 days gone when Maester Lewin came to her one night in Bran's sick room, carrying a reading lamp and the books of the account.
That's another easy one. That's Catelyn.
It is Catelyn. I know that one straight away. Lovely.
All right. I stood last vigil for him myself, Sir Barristan Selmy said as they looked down at the body in the back of the cart.
I'm going to have to say it's another Eddard. I think Eddard probably is apart from Daenerys, our easiest
Right.
one just because they're so famous. But yep, and it's another Eddard.
Yep.
Good. Another easy one.
Yes. It's easy.
Here we go. 04 announcer Jeremy Riker. Beyond a doubt.
That's Jon.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm
Do you
sure.
want to? Okay. Oh, and you're all right.
I'm glad I picked a Game of Thrones because some of the Night's Watch chapters are going to be a little difficult once you throw Sam in there. But yeah,
that's true. That's definitely true. It's all going to get very complicated once get to feast and dance, and there's
for sure.
so many more options. But here we go. It's still difficult. I'm going to say it's difficult because I know I'll be first to get one wrong.
Now you don't know that. All right, so character was showing Darian how best to deliver a side stroke when the new recruit entered the practice yard.
Oh, we're doubling up. We're going back-to-back Johns then.
Yep.
Yep, and there we go. Okay. Okay, next one here. Oh, we get interesting. We should start back, Garrett urged as the woods began to grow dark around them.
I
think we all know that
really
one.
ashamed if I miss this one. This is Will.
Yeah, we might have to stop the
Will in the
podcast if we got
prologue.
this one. Will. One Will. There we go. R.I.P. Will.
And another easy one here. When he had taken his pleasure, Khal Drogo rose from their sleeping mats to tower above her.
Yeah, I'm going to say I know this one. I'm going to go with Daenerys. There we go. Okay, next one here. The flies circled Khal Drogo slowly, their wings buzzing, a low thrum and the edge of hearing that filled character with dread.
Daenerys.
Daenerys. We're doing really well, but we still have several characters we've not even touched yet, they are to come.
All right. Of all the rooms in Winterfell's Great Keep, characters' bedchambers were the hottest. I'm
going to say that is Catelyn. Let's find out. Yes, lovely. Okay, good. I'm still perfect on Catelyn.
That could have been tricky, but yeah, that's one I knew as well. So
yeah. Okay, next one. Oh, we're really getting these out of the way.
Yeah.
The horse gate of Vastoff Rack was made of 2 gigantic bronze stallions, rearing, their hooves meeting 100 feet above the roadway to form a pointed arc.
Daenerys.
We're running out. She's our safety net. She's not going to be there much longer.
Yeah, this thing really likes Daenerys, apparently.
It really does.
Lots of those. All right. Her brother held the gown up for her inspection.
It's not as easy, but it's still another Daenerys. Yep, got that one right as well. Okay. Are you well, character? Lord Mormont asked, scowling.
I'm pretty sure this is Jon.
Okay, let's go for it. Jon. Yep. See, I thought that might be a trap there. I thought that could have been Tyrion back at the beginning.
But he was scowling, and I think they had a pretty good rapport when Tyrion was there. So
yeah, that's
why
true.
I went Jon.
Well worked out.
All right. As the host trooped down the causeway through the black bogs of the Neck and spilled out into the riverlands beyond, characters' apprehensions grew.
I'm going to say this is another Catelyn from later in the book. Yes, okay, good. That did worry me for a second.
Yeah, the ones where it talks about being apprehensive or worried or sad usually end up being Catelyn.
Yeah, that's a good point. I should look for those. Okay, another one here. Chella, daughter of Czech of the Blackears, had gone ahead to scout, and it was she who brought back word of the army at the crossroads. It's quite similar to the last one.
Yeah, so we only really have one character that deals with them, and that's Tyrion.
Yeah, unfortunately. Maybe they'll come back. So far. Right, good stuff.
All right. Character rode to the Hand's Tourney with Septim Ordain and Jane Poole, and a litter with curtains of yellow silk so fine she could see right through them.
So I'm going to go that this is our... Is this our first Sansa? Yes, it is. And I know these are... The Sansa Io where I really think we might get tripped up some of the Red Keep ones. But for this one, I'm pretty confident it is Sansa.
Yes.
Yes, and it is.
Take a moment to be sad about Jane.
Yeah.
It's very hard to see her name sometimes.
It really is, yes. Okay, next one here.
Oh,
now this looks like a more difficult one. I think you've been handed a worse hand than I have so far.
Oh, great.
The grey light of dawn was streaming through his window when the thunder of hoofbeats awoke character from his brief, exhausted sleep.
Oof. I want to say it's Eddard, although it could be Jon, but yeah, I'm going to say Eddard.
It is. We're still perfect. Fantastic.
Oh, man.
That one. I'm guiding up that one.
Pressure is really ramping up now. All right. Character rode through the towering bronze doors of the Red Keep, sore, tired, hungry, and irritable.
Oh, we've got another back-to-back situation because I think this is Eddard again. And it is, yes. Riding in, like Tywin will in the future.
Yeah, much better person than Tywin, though, for sure.
Yeah, much different. Okay. The walls of the throne room had been stripped bare, the hunting tapestries that King Robert loved taken down and stacked in the corner in an untidy heap.
Ooh, this could be tricky, but the fact that the tapestries are down, it's got to be Sansa.
It has. Let's double check, and it is. It's correct. There's a lot of throne room set openings so far, isn't there?
Yeah. Luckily, you can kind of look at the context of the quote and maybe figure it out if you don't know for sure. But that one was a little bit tricky. All right. When the battle was done, character rode her silver through the fields of the dead.
Oh, I get to steal another Daenerys, the beloved silver.
Yes.
Yes, correct. Thank God. Good. So, next one here. On a hill overlooking the King's Road, a long trestle table of rough-hewn pine had been erected beneath an elm tree and covered with a golden cloth.
Oh, goodness. I think this is my first toss-up, maybe. Because I'm like, is this Eddard or is this Tyrion traveling north?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Rough-hewn pine. Golden cloth. Oh, golden could be Baratheon. Or Lannister. Oh, gosh. I'm
going to cue some dramatic music for this bit. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to say Tyrion.
Okay. Let's go for it. Let's find out. It is. Wow. I really thought that was Eddard then. I thought we had our first wrong.
I couldn't decide, but I don't know. I was thinking rough hewn, like Robert would have had something
real
nicer.
deep there on the clues.
Yeah.
Really put your inspector hat on there.
Yeah. All right.
Well done.
Whew. Okay.
Now I'm sweating.
Now here you get a softball here. So characters' stitches were crooked again.
Now you say softball. I keep thinking I'm going to make an obvious mistake, but I'm pretty sure I'm safe here if I say this is our first Arya chapter.
You are correct.
I am correct. Thank God. Okay, good. Whew. So we're just about halfway, and we're perfect so far. So I hope everyone out there is having as much success as we are. We'll have to get the party poppers out if we go all the way through this.
Yeah, we will. Break out the champagne.
Yeah, we will. Okay, next one here. The famous one. He dreamt an old dream of 3 knights in white cloaks and a tower long fallen, and Lyanna in her bed of blood.
Well, it's obviously Eddard.
That is a softball if I ever saw one. Eddard it is.
Definitely, you have to hang your head in shame if you miss that one.
Oh, definitely.
All right, on to our next one. So we have, in the tower room at the heart of Maegor's holdfast, character gave herself to the darkness.
Now, this is one of these ones that I was talking about earlier. Well, I know it's one of them, but I'm not sure which it is. I'm going to assume... I can't really see Arya giving herself to darkness at this point. I think it must be Sansa. So I'm going to try Sansa. Oh, yes. Okay, good. Still perfect, thank God.
Yes.
Oof. All right. Oh, another one of your favourites. The heart was steaming in the cool evening air when Khal Drogo set it before her, raw and bloody.
And this would be Daenerys, of course.
Yeah, I'm marking that down as correct before I even check. There you go.
It would be really awkward if I just blurted out the wrong name. Anyway.
Tyrion doesn't need a heart.
All right. Eddard Stark had left before dawn. Septim Ordain informed Blank as they broke their fast.
Okay, so Sporcle's obviously heard me saying that I don't want any of these ones and continues to give Vanessa Daenerys while I get either Arya or Sansa.
You got a lot of Daenerys too now.
I did. I have actually. I think we've only got one left, so we'll have to fight over the last Daenerys.
Sure.
But this one is stumping me because this easily could be either one. There's really not a lot of clues. I guess Sansa talks to Septim Ordain more, but that's pretty thin. I'm gonna stick with Sansa, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes. Good job.
Still correct. Yeah.
I always associate Septim Ordain with Sansa, so that was good.
That was really
there.
what swung it for me there. Unfortunately, we have a very similarly difficult one here. So we've got her father had been fighting with the council again.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Arya because Sansa pretty much ignored everything Eddard did. She was too preoccupied with going to tourneys and Joffrey and everything else.
Okay. All right, let's find out. Is it Arya? It is. There you go. Lovely.
Like
well done.
Deductive reasoning skills.
Yeah, you're very good at this.
Okay. This could be a tough one. They had taken shelter beneath a copse of aspens just off the high road.
Yeah, I'm not very happy about this one. Well, the high road, so it's either Catelyn or Tyrion, I'm guessing. I'm assuming no one calls the Upper King's Road the high road just to confuse me. So, but is this at the beginning when they start, or is it Tyrion coming back? Taken shelter. I'm going to go with Tyrion, I think. just off the high road, so I'm assuming this is when he comes back with Bronn. Yeah, I'm going to try Tyrion. Okay, good.
Well done.
Still Tyrion. That was a bit nerve-wracking, that one. This one might be a little bit easier, maybe. They came for character on the third day.
I'm going to say this is Sansa after Eddard's beheading.
That's right. Yes, there we go. I think it might even be before his beheading, but when he's been arrested, when everything goes wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That might be. Oh, no, maybe you are right.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
One
It's
of
one of the two.
That time period.
You're right.
So to update everyone, we've got one Daenerys and one Sansa, and a lot of everyone else, to be honest with you.
Yes.
We've barely touched Bran or Catelyn or Tyrion, in fact.
All right. So the next one is, the visitors poured through the castle gates in a river of gold and silver and polished steel, 300 strong, a pride of bannermen and knights of sworn swords and free riders.
So I think this is one where the show would confuse me a bit, because this is obviously everyone arriving at Winterfell, but in the show you kind of see it through like Arya looking kind of when she's hidden off, and then Bran. But I'm pretty sure in the books it is Eddard's POV that we actually see them arrive. So I'm going to go for Eddard. Okay, good. I was right. The show has not defeated me
that one was tricky.
yet.
I'm glad I didn't get that one.
Oh, here we go. Lob it up here for you. Wings shadowed her fever dreams.
I'm gonna say this is our last Daenerys.
It certainly is. Wings are the giveaway there.
For sure.
So yes, no more Daenerys.
Darn
We've got that out of the way.
Now I'm in trouble. All right. It seemed 1,000 years ago that character had carried her infant son out of River Run, crossing the Tumblestone in a small boat to begin their journey north to Winterfell. Well, that's easy.
Yeah, we're back in my arena now. I'm going to go with Catelyn.
Yes.
And there we go. Good.
Oh, goodness.
All right, we're still going. Everyone's still perfect. The pressure increases with each question. No one wants to get it wrong first. Okay, next one here. Robert, I beg of you, character pleaded. Hear what you were saying.
Well, this is pretty easy. I'm pretty sure this is Eddard.
I'm pretty sure you're right, yeah. Let's double check. Yes, you are correct.
Terrific. All right. So, yeah, pressure keeps ramping up here. But I think it'll be all right. The one-eared Black Tom arched his back and hissed at her.
Yes, I'm pretty comfortable with this one. The one-eared Black Tom that is the focus of so many theories out there. I'm going to say this is Arya. And I will be correct. Okay, good.
Yes. Perfect.
All right, this one's a little more tricky. The Karstarks came in on a cold, windy morning, bringing 300 horsemen and near 2,000 foot from their castle at Carhold.
I'm pretty sure this is Bran, I want to say.
Okay, let's find out if you're correct. Is it Bran?
Yes!
It is.
Okay.
It is Bran, okay. Lob the ball back to me.
All right, I think you'll probably be okay on this one too. It seemed as though he had been falling for years.
I'm going to say that's a back-to-back Bran then. I don't think anyone else has as big of a fall as Bran. Let's double check though.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I didn't know if Jon had tripped at some point.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been anywhere near as bad as Bran. All right.
Okay, here we go. Next one. You are as hopeless as any boys I have ever trained, Sir Alistair Thorne announced when they had all assembled in the yard.
That's a hard one. That is Jon.
It certainly is, that's right.
All right, I think you'll have an easy time with this one, too. They have my son, Tywin Lannister said.
Oh, famous. Yeah, this another one be much more difficult when we get to kind of storm territory when everyone's around each other. But for now, I'm pretty confident in saying that is a Tyrion. Okay,
Yes.
good. I am correct.
And I can only hear that in Charles Dance's voice.
Oh, it would be absolutely impossible to hear that in anyone else's. Yes, they'll never recast that. Okay, this one would cause me some trouble, I think. The eastern sky was rose and gold as the sun broke over the Vale of Arryn.
Okay. Eastern Sky. Oh, well, I got two choices. This is, gosh. I'm gonna go Catelyn just because we have more that haven't been chosen for her yet. So I'm just gonna go
That's
Catelyn.
true. 6 remaining for Catelyn.
Odds are maybe in my favor, so Catelyn.
6 for Catelyn, 4 for Tyrion. We're going for a Catelyn, and we're correct.
Oh, God.
Well done.
Thank you. I was really sweating that one. All right.
That was tough.
Now this one is not so hard. Hi, Sirio 4L called out, slashing at her head.
I've been pretty lucky so far. I think I've had all the Ayers, maybe.
I
And
think
I
I
think
had
I've got another one here.
One R, yeah.
You had one? Okay. Oh, good. I did have another one. I was right.
Oh,
one more for me.
Goodness. Not sure about this one.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad this is you. The oldest were men grown, 17 and 18 years from the day of their naming. Oh, yeah, that is tough.
Oh, God. Okay. I really don't know. Could be Bran, could be... I think it's Eddard? Could be John? God. Okay. I kind of want to just toss a coin. Oh my gosh.
You're free to do that if you wish.
If I had one handy, I would. Let's go Bran.
Okay, we're going with Bran. This is very difficult. I wouldn't know what to choose here. Oh, very clutch. You got it right. Wow. See, I think I would have chosen Catelyn if that had been pressed to me. Maybe thinking about when she meets up with Rob. But I guess we've already had that meeting chapter, haven't we?
Yeah.
So you're right to do that. That was definitely difficult. There was a few options. It could have been Eddard. It could have even been Sansa at the tourney, maybe. So yeah, you really came through there.
I think I know their chapters a little bit better. Bran's, I don't remember as well how they start. So
No, I don't either. Actually, Bran's probably my weakest.
Yeah, I was just thinking of like all the people that come after Rob leaves. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Next one. He found Littlefinger in the brothel's common room, chatting amiably with a tall, elegant woman who wore a feathered gown over skin as black as ink.
I think we've got another Eddard. We're starting to run out, but we've got a few left. I'm pretty sure this is one of them. Yes. And I'm correct. Good.
Another fairly easy one.
Yeah, Eddard probably pretty famous ones. Next one here. We will make King's Landing within the hour.
Okay, could be Eddard or Catelyn, but I'm pretty sure this is Catelyn.
I would agree with you. Let's find out. Yep, correct again.
All right. This next one might be pretty easy as well. Character had never liked this god's wood.
It's another back-to-back situation. I'm pretty sure I know my Catelyn chapters. I think this is her first one.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I would be very embarrassed if I got the Catelyn ones wrong. So
as I would be if I got Daenerys wrong.
Yeah. Well, you're safe on that count. I've still got 3 Catelyns left. To update everyone, we've got 3 Catelyns, 3 Eddards, 4 Tyrions still, 2 Johns, and then a Sansa, a Bran, and an Arya each to go. We've got 15 left. Okay, so here's the next one. He wouldn't send Sir Loras, character, told Jane Poole that night as they shared a cold supper by lamplight. There's that name again.
Thankfully, this is an easy one. This is Sansa.
It certainly is. That's our last Sansa, so she's off the board.
Helps narrow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So this one should be pretty easy, especially now. The scent of hot bread drifting from the shops along the street of flour was sweeter than any perfume character had ever smelled. I'm
pretty sure I'm keeping up my Arya streak. I think we've got another one here. Let's double check. And I have. Okay, so Arya is now off the board as well. This one, it might be a bit more tricky. The woods were full of whispers.
Nah, I got this one. Whispering Wood. This is Catelyn.
You got that one? Easy. Stolen a Catelyn from me. Thought we might be able to trick you out there, but obviously not. No, you know your stuff too well.
Well, I try. I'm glad I don't have this next one, though. So we have The North Went On Forever.
Yeah, not a lot of clues in that one. But I'm thinking it's either Jon or Tyrion, and I'm pretty sure this is Tyrion complaining he doesn't know the size of the North. Jon would already know that the North goes on forever. Now, I say that, I might be shooting myself in the foot here at the 11th hour, but I'm going to go for Tyrion. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. I haven't made a fool of myself.
That would have been my choice too, so well done.
Good. Here we go. Next one. Courtyard rang to the Song of Swords.
God, I might be the first one to get one wrong. I want to say it's Jon, but I could be wrong.
This literally could be any of them at this point.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Could be Bran. Oh, I want to go Jon. Oh.
If it helps, that is who I would go for as well. But let's find out. It is Jon.
Oh,
it is Jon.
All right, good.
Okay, 10 remaining. We've got all this way.
Uncross my fingers now. Yes, Yes.
Well done,
gosh.
us.
So can we do 10 more? Perfectly.
Is it going to be the 73rd we get wrong? I really hope not.
Me too. Okay, well, I don't think it's going to be this one. So our next quote is, "You want eat?" Mord asked, glowering.
No, I've been lucky here. I'm pretty sure this is Tyrion and his good friend Maud, and I am correct. Okay, good. I'm safe. But let's try this next one. I think you'll be okay again. "My lady, you ought cover your head," Sir Roderick told her as their horses plodded north.
Yes, and this is another Catelyn.
It certainly is. Let's double check. Yeah, we're okay.
This might be a little tricky, although we have eliminated a couple characters, so we'll see. So we have, "Somewhere in the great stone maze of Winterfell, a wolf howled."
I know this well. It's a library chapter. I always like the library chapters, and I think this is Tyrion again. I think I've got him twice in a row. Let me check. Okay, good. Yeah, still
Well done.
Still solid. Okay. Ooh, heats up. "Lord Aaron's death was a great sadness for all of us, my lord," Grand Maester Pycelle said.
Luckily this one's easy. This is Eddard.
It certainly is. Okay, so we've now actually got one of everyone: Bran, Catelyn, Jon, and Tyrion, and 2 Eddards. So, yeah, this is definitely going to help us, I think, as we get to the last bit here.
Yes. All right. Character was breaking his fast on apple cakes and blood sausage when Samwell Tarly plopped himself down on the bench.
Oh, Sam shout out. Our first Sam shout out. So I'm going to take Jon off the board here. And, okay, good. Next one here. 5 remaining. Real clutch now. "They found her, my lord."
Well, this one's pretty easy. This is Eddard.
It certainly is. Okay, so we've
After they found Arya.
That's right, yeah. So we've got now 4 left, and it's 1 each. Bran, Catelyn, Eddard, and Tyrion. So I think we might be safe, although that might be famous last word.
Yes, we'll see. So our next quote is, "The hunt left at dawn."
See, I've said we'll be safe, and immediately I now get one that I'm questioning over and over. But I'm pretty sure this is Bran's falling chapter, Bran 2 or 3. It must be Bran 2, I think, where everyone else has gone from Winterfell and he gets left behind. So I'm going to go for Bran. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Still safe.
That would have been my choice too.
Good. Okay, here we go. "Are you certain that you must leave us so soon?" the Lord Commander asked him.
This is pretty easy, especially since there is no Jon. Not that he would be leaving anyway, at least not that the Lord Commander would know about. So this is Tyrion.
Okay, and that is correct. So we're down to our last 2. It's the husband versus wife, Eddard and Catelyn left.
"It's the hand's tourney that's the cause of all the trouble, my lords," the commander of the City Watch complained to the King's Council.
Well, yes, I benefit here by just having only 2 options left, and I'm going to say this is our final 15th Eddard chapter, and that would be correct.
Now, if I missed this last one,
yeah,
I'm really sad here.
That would be rough, but let's find out. "It was too far to make out the banners clearly, but even through the drifting fog, she could see they were white, with a dark smudge in their centre that could only be the direwolf."
It is Catelyn.
It certainly is. That is our 73rd. Ding, ding, ding.
Wow.
Pop the corks.
Amazing.
Sound the bells. We've gone 100%. So I don't need to do any maths at all.
No.
That was 37 for you, 36 for me. Well done, Vanessa.
Yeah, thank you.
I
You
certainly,
too.
certainly didn't think we'd run the gauntlet that easily. Like you said, Game of Thrones does make it a little bit easier with just less POVs, and they're all quite separate still. Well, no, that's not true. I guess they are together more, but you get what I mean. Especially like Daenerys, Jon. So, yeah, that's true. But even so, I think we deserve a pat on the back there.
Yeah, agreed. I think that this book is just so much more familiar because
true,
it was
yeah.
the first one, and people probably have read it and reread it and gone back and referenced chapters. So it definitely helps. And like I said, there's a lot of context clues in some of these lines that help a lot.
You definitely got the magnifying glass out on a few there. What you're going to trip up.
I was really surprised that I got some of those. They were
Out
tough.
of interest, when was the last reread you had? When was the last time you actually read Game of Thrones?
I started rereading the last time I took a business trip, which was earlier in March. So yeah. I had nothing else to do on the flight, and I forgot to get a new book to read. So I was like, let's just go back and revisit.
Go to an old favourite. Yeah. I think mine must have been last summer, I guess, when we were doing Valor Reader, so we're not too dissimilar there. So yeah, that's really good. We've been able to retain it that long, 100% straight off. Everyone else will have a very high bar to jump on now.
For sure. And they do get a lot harder, I think.
Oh, they do, especially when we get to, like you say, a lot of people have read Game of Thrones and probably put it down and not continued with the rest, but no one's doing that with Feast or Dance, for example. So yeah, that will be interesting, but we shall see as we go. Thank you, Vanessa, for giving up your time and coming on for this first episode here. I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
Oh, yeah, I love trivia, and I'm very competitive, so I would have been really upset if I had missed some and you hadn't.
I would not want to have just got one wrong. Been 98 to 100%, no, I would have been most displeased. But luckily, that didn't happen.
Blemishes on our perfect record here.
No. So tell us again, that's where we can find you, everyone can find your artwork and your other work just before you head off.
Sure. Well, you can find me writing at Westworld Watchers as Season 3 is going along for the next 8 weeks. I will be writing at Watchers on the Wall on occasion as we get news there. You can follow me on Twitter at VKColeArtist or on Instagram at VKColeArt. That's where I'll be posting most of my artwork. And another project which I forgot to mention earlier, if any of you are fans of Stephen King, I have started a podcast with my good friend the Sansa Snark, or Sam from Watchers on the Wall. We do that together. And you can find that on Twitter at NeedfulKingCast, and you can find it on iTunes, on SoundCloud, on Podbean, and we also have a Patreon, so be sure to check us out and give us some support if you like what we do. Yeah,
please do that. I think I said last time you were on that you're kind of the whole biscuit when it comes to our fandom. You write and draw. Now we get to listen to you as well. We've got all bases covered here. So yeah, I'm sure everyone already follows all those things, but if not, make sure you do because you're missing out if not.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that.
I will let you go here, Vanessa. I hope you and your family will stay well in this tough time. Thank you for coming on and cheering us all up a bit. It's very much appreciated. And we will get you back soon for something else, I'm sure.
Sounds wonderful. It's always a pleasure.
Great. Right. Enjoy Westworld and we will see you again
I will.
Soon.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, so there we have it, folks. That's the first in the books. The first of 10. 9 more to come. That is Game of Thrones, all the opening sentences, and Vanessa and I ran the board. Very surprised. I did not expect that level of success. I hope you enjoyed regardless, even if we didn't get much drama out of it. I should have mentioned when Vanessa was still here, the average score on Sporcle itself. So according to Sporcle, the average score from other Sporcle users is 73%, which is weird, as there's 73 chapters as well. But 73% overall. So if you're playing along at home, 73% of 73 would be 53, I think, in total. So if you've got over 53, then you are better than average, so well done you. Or you might be like Vanessa and myself and get 100. Yeah, definitely a surprise. But irregardless, I hope you've enjoyed this first of many. I hope you'll come back for the next one. Do let us know if you have any suggestions for how to improve the format or anything like that. It is difficult, I guess, having the remaining chapters in front of Vanessa and I, because as you heard, we can make elimination guesses based on what's left, but then again, that is how it would be if we were playing along with you. So that makes it fair if you're going to send your score in, and we encourage you to do so. Please do share, retweet, and whatever else, and we'll get this to as many of the fandom as possible because people might need it at a time like this. And even if they don't, it's fun. So it's good to have another type of episode on the Isle of Faces, along with Scraps and Scrolls and guest episodes like we had with Vanessa back in the day, like we're going to have coming up in the future. And hopefully we'll have Vanessa on for another episode. We might even get on another one of these. Might see if we can break her perfect record. We will see. I think you'll agree. Probably that might be the easiest quiz we'll have so far. It's the first book. The beginning sentences are easier, I would say, than the ending ones. You probably get more hints, but we will see as time goes on. I will update you with when the next episode is coming, who will be the guest, etc, etc. Obviously next time it will be a Game of Thrones, the ending sentences, so we'll see how many of 73 you reach that time. Can I keep my perfect streak up? The pressure is definitely on. But definitely, thank you for coming, thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this time on the Isle, and we will see you back again soon. Thanks guys, see you later.